In this tutorial, we're going to do a Trickshot game from scratch. If you want more videos like this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And if you want to access the code or the assets of the tutorial or looking for help, you can check our Patreon in the description. Let's continue the tutorial. Hello everyone, in this video we are going to do a Trickshot tutorial. So we are going to do a whole Trickshot start to finish, and we have our awesome textures and meshes and virtual effects. You can get all those from our Patreon. You can get our code from our Patreon as well. But of course, as always, we're going to show the entirety of the code, so you can just type it along. So first, I want to show you how you can set up this device and use it. So first, we set up player spawners because we want those spawned events to set up stuff for our players, and then we can set the levels. But before the levels, I want to show you the other stuff. So again, with this one, we made it highly customizable, so you can control the size and the locations of most of the UI widgets and details from just using these editables. So let's start from the top. So this is game start volume. So this is the volume that's going to start the game for that player when the player enters the volume. And this one, I just put it here. And this is the lobby teleporter. So you'd want to set this teleporter in your lobby so that when a player successfully ends the game, they're returned back to this position. And we have the weapon granter. So you just put all your weapons that you want the player to use in this trick shot in this weapon granter. And then of course we have an item remover to remove the items, remove the weapon that the player is holding. And then we have the HUD messenger. So we are going to use the HUD messenger to show this perfect shot widget. So this is our custom texture for this. So we are using Verse UI for all the other widgets, but for this one we wanted to use the HUD messenger because you probably so it's easier to swap out. I mean, it's also easier to swap out with the other Verse UI textures as well, but we want to do this like this because we'll probably use this with a sound, so that's why we did it this way. And so we have on any hit trigger, so you're not triggering this. So basically, when you want to do some general stuff, when any trigger is hit, any target trigger is hit, and you don't care which one is hit, then you can listen to the triggered event of this trigger. And again, this is the own game end trigger, so the device triggers this, and you listen to this, and you can do your game end stuff with the trigger event of this. So we have a little bit delay. We are doing a little bit delay after the player successfully hits the target, so that they can because we are playing a custom explosion effect. If we were to immediately teleport the player to the next level, they wouldn't be able to see that effect. So we are letting them free fall a bit. But we are also making it sure in the code that nothing wrong happens. So that's it, and we just set it to 0.4 seconds, and that's about good. But you can change it to whatever you want. And then we come to the UI details. So these are all the default values, and you can customize them. And probably if you happen to use different textures, you would want to probably change the sizes and offsets and stuff. So this is just all that textures and the widget and text sizes and offsets and all that, right? But it works well with the defaults, but you are free to customize. Then we have the hit VFX. This is a so VFX phone or device, and we play our custom hit effect on this. So let me show you like this, right? This is just a burst effect. Again, you can use whatever you want with this. Make sure it's a burst, and that's it actually. And then you set the other stuff depending on your needs. If you want to use ours, then you can just take the custom visual effect override and set the custom VFX here. And then we come to the hit audio player. So this is just the audio that we play when a target is successfully hit. Okay, and make sure so if you come to HUD message device, make sure that it is okay. So that's actually, I did wrong there. So make sure it's triggering for player, and make sure it's played for a duration. And you can add a sound or not, doesn't matter. And you can actually place it wherever you want, but I just place it at top center, and that's what I want. And that's about it with setting this. Oh no, that's not about it. That was too short, right? So we come to the levels. So I just did the same level, right? And I just copied it just to show you, because I did this just to show you guys. So here, basically, you put your levels here in a sequential manner. So in our first level, so for each level we have a list of elimination volumes. So this is, we're not eliminating the player. This is just when the player falls here, it teleports them back to the start of the level. So this is a list of volumes, because you can have bunch of you can have a different shaped level, so you might need to put different volumes, multiple volumes on multiple places, so to make sure that player doesn't fall into weird places, and if they do, they teleport back to the start of the level. So that's why we have a list of volumes for that. And then we just have one volume for the weapon grants volume. So this is just player will get the weapon when they're inside this volume, and when they fall off of this, when they exit the volume, if they exit, when they exit, they basically, we remove the weapon, so they will only get access to the weapon inside the volume, inside the weapon grant volume. And of course, the teleporter itself, the level teleporter, movement modulator is not referenced because we don't need to do anything with that. So it's just movement modulators, bumpers, and stuff, tires, stuff like that. It's just stuff that you put in your level to essentially create your parkour. And then so we have the weapon grant index. So this index is for the one weapon granter that we use with our Trickshot device. So I just have for 3 levels, I'll just have a pistol, shotgun, and assault rifle. So that's why they are just using so you just set the weapon indexes for that granter, 0, 1, 2, and that's it. Actually, let me show you the settings as well. Make sure it's triggering player. It's always make sure equip grants the item, and don't set the grant on cycle, and make sure cycle behavior is wrap. It shouldn't matter, we are granting but with indexing, but still to make sure. And make sure that you make the grant the current item, and it's clear inventory. So actually these are the default settings. So. And then of course we have our target mesh. So here are only thing I didn't show you is the hit detect trigger. So basically here we have our level target, and we made the trigger a child to it, right? So that we just, when we move it, it comes with it. You don't need to reference the target mesh itself, but you need to reference the trigger and make sure the trigger is activated by everyone, and make sure it's not visible, and make sure you put it in front of the target, and make sure it aligns well with the size of your target. And then make sure it's triggered by player, triggered by damage, and then bottom here, make sure that it receives damage when invisible, right? and that's all you need to set for the trigger. And then you repeat all that for each of the levels. And actually that's it on how to set the device. Let's come to the code. And so we are also using persistence. So we are storing the best time and the prestige. So prestige is just when player successfully completes the game, we give them a prestige, and the best time is just the shortest time that they have finished the game. And then we have here other variables like which level are they on currently, some other in-game state, and the UI. So here the level class, Trickshot level class, I have already showed you. Here are all the editables I have already explained to you. This is where we store the per player data. So in the on begin, we initialize stuff, and then we call the async timer function, which just updates the timer UI. So and on player spawn, if it's the first spawn, we just again for the player initialize stuff. We create the canvas. We try to load any existing persistent data and all that good stuff. Then if this is game start volume entered, so we call this when player enters the game start volume. So basically we just set their stored like game state properly, and then we teleport them to the first level, and we update the UI as well. And then this is when if they enter any elimination volume, we just teleport them back to the we teleport them back to the start of the level. So we teleport them back to the level teleporter. So when player enters the weapon grant volume, we grant them the volume. When they exit, we remove the item, and when they hit the trigger, when they hit the target, so we show the we trigger this on any hit trigger, so anything listening to it will get that triggered event, and then we show the hood, and then we play the VFX, right? We teleport the VFX and then we play it. We wait for a frame and then we play it, because to make sure that VFX plays properly, because we're teleporting it from possibly another game location. And we play the audio, and inside inside its async inner function, so we either go to the next level if there is any, right? Or if this is the end of the game, then we just increase the prestige, and we make sure we look is this the new best time? If it is, we're just going to. So we calculate the current finish time, right? And then we get to old best time. If there is any, there's no any best time, then we just write it. But if the current time is smaller than the old best time, then we just make this current time the new best time, right? And then we store that, we save the persistable data, and then we update the UI based on that information. Here, this is the canvas creation function. So first we create the timer text. This is the timer text. Then for each of the widgets, the level widget, the prestige widget, the best time widget, we create them in a loop. So all of them are separate canvases. So basically, but all those canvases is just a texture, and on top of that, it's a text. So we just store all of their information, or all of their data in an array of tuples, and basically we loop on that tuple, and in each iteration we just pull that data from that tuple, and then using that data we are creating that canvas, and then we are adding it that sub canvas to the screen canvas, and that's actually that. And so this is just the texture and the text. And then the format seconds is just it's just a helper function, takes a number of seconds, an integer number of seconds, and then formats it either into this form if it exceeds 1 hour, If it doesn't, it formats it in this form. And then these are these like conversion functions between the agent persistent and temporary agent data classes. So, and that's it. So let me scroll back up slowly again so that you can see all of that. I mean, when you look at it, it's pretty straightforward. Everything that we are doing with this, maybe some stuff with the how we set up the level data could have been, is maybe counterintuitive for you, but most of it is just pretty straightforward, and you can easily build on top of this, and you can easily like customize it with just playing with the many editables that we have, right? All right, we're almost done, and that's about it. And let me show you how this works, right? So let me start the game. So yeah, I actually entered the so let me actually not do that, right? So I'm going to, since I have a best time, I'm going to launch a fresh session, and then so that you can see everything from the start. All right, back in a second. All right, we are back, and you can see that. So I also set the gravity to low so that it's easier to test. All right, we have the prestige at 0, and we have the best time unknown, question mark, because this is the first time we are playing it. So we're going to enter the game, start volume. There we are on the first level, and you can see the timer going on. Of course, in the real game, you would disable the visibility of these volumes. I just enabled them so that we can clearly see what's going on. So if I don't, it gives me the weapon here, and if I don't shoot and just fall, it starts me back, right? And then if I shoot at it, you can see the perfect shot, and then we are on the next level, right? And you can see the level count is increased. We got the shotgun. Oops, missed. We got the shotgun, and you can see the custom VFX. And I might be showing that perfect shot widget for too long. I'm probably showing it for 3 seconds or something. It's probably too long. Maybe you just show it for a second. And now when I shoot it, oops, missed it again. When I shoot it, okay, one more time. Okay, so you can see now I can see my best time as 1 minute 2 seconds, and my prestige is 1. So now I'll just do one more round to show you that we can successfully override the best time. So I'll just do my best, do my fastest. Right, 9 seconds. All right, that's pretty good. Actually, that's the fastest I've done while doing this tutorial. So that's cool. So you can see this is and just an entire Trickshot game working. I mean, of course, we just have 3 levels and they're all the same, and we don't have a lobby setup. But this is actually just all you need to set up building your amazing Trickshot game, right? And if you want to maybe have a a real-time scoreboard or something, you can actually use that. You can actually use our real scoreboard device and bind it to this. And how we can do that is just use the any hit trigger event, and then using that bind that to a score manager's score giving event, and then give a score to that player, and then use that score manager with the real scoreboard device, and then that should actually make the stuff work. And additionally, you would actually want to reset the scores again when the player finishes the game. So in the on game ended trigger, you would want to reset that score again, and then And that's actually all you need to do, and then it would work perfectly well together. And so that was all. And to access the code or the assets of this video, you can check our Patreon. So thanks for watching, like, subscribe, and share if you've enjoyed, and also leave a comment on what tutorial you would want to see next. See you later.